to another one, you guys. If you were new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Mercedes-Benz of Hagerstown in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So today we're in the brand new 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300 because there's a lot of nice changes for the 2025 model year. You have a newly standard center airbag, new color for this year as well, new interior options. Also, of course, brilliant interior quality, and I always enjoy driving Mercedes-Benz, obviously. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so there's essentially two different configurations for the 2025 C300. You got the rear wheel drive starting at $48,450. Then you got the 4MATIC all-wheel drive, of course, going for $50,450. But regardless of the configuration that you go with, the power plant is going to be the same. Powering the beast is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a mild hybrid system, putting out 255 horsepower, 5,800 RPM, 295 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 2,000 RPM. That power being sent to rear wheels or all wheels through a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters, which of course you guys know we will be testing out here in a little bit. But 0 to 60 time is going to come in at approximately 6 seconds flat. Top speed, if you're interested, comes in at 129 miles per hour, with MPG numbers coming in at 25 in the city, 35 on the highway for the rear wheel drive, 24 city, 33 then on the highway for the all-wheel drive, taking premium unleaded fuel. So before we do any kind of fun paddle shifter or acceleration test here in the C class, did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. And so there's a button labeled dynamic that is located just underneath of the infotainment screen that's going to give you drive modes like eco, comfort, and sport, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle responses, steering sensitivity, and actually the eco start stop system then as well. So now I've got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the paddle shifters and acceleration here to the test. I want to see how quickly the paddle shifters react. I also want to see, of course, how quickly we can get this one here up the speed. All right, we are in sport driving mode here in 3, 2, 1, go. Wow. All right, so paddle shifters are actually pretty darn quick. So yeah, there's not a heck of a lot of delay whatsoever when it comes to those paddle shifters, so that was actually quite fun. Now, I do wish they were a little bit more than just a black plastic, like aluminum or some kind of silver finish to them or something like that. I think that would have been a little more fun, but having said that, they work beautifully, so no issues there. Also, acceleration, plenty quick. You guys might have noticed, because of that mild hybrid system, I'm assuming, there was no delay whatsoever when I initially hit the gas, because you do get that quite often with turbocharged 4-cylinders, but it's not the case here in the C300 because probably at that mild hybrid system. So that was a quite brilliant acceleration as well. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 13-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 11.8-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 60-0 stopping distance goes, as we're going to a stop now, that comes in at 112 feet. As far as braking feel goes, not as firm of a braking feel as I expected, quite honestly. It's a little bit on the softer side, but then again, Mercedes-Benz, it is a luxury brand, but that number itself, 112 feet, that is absolutely quite brilliant. So you're definitely not going to have any issues bringing this thing to a stop. But anyways, then touching on suspension and handling, up front, you're going to get a 4-link front axle. In the back, 5-arm multi-link rear design. But also wanted to mention the AMG line package. It goes for $3,400. It comes with a bunch of stuff, but one of the things that it comes with is a sport tuned suspension and steering. In addition to that, it's also going to lower the suspension as well. So that's a package we don't have with us here today, unfortunately, but nonetheless, I do want to mention it. As far as ride quality goes, in our short little test drive here today, we're on some extremely smooth roads right now, so it's pretty darn good because of the roads mostly. But having said that, usually Mercedes-Benz tunes their suspensions quite nicely, especially for ride quality. But having said that, I was kind of surprised when I was doing my research on the C300, as there's no adaptive damping suspension available for this one. So that's typically something that you see as an option on Mercedes-Benz and a lot of other luxury automakers, because that gives you even better ride quality. It also tightens up the suspension for better handling as well. But yeah, it's not available on the C300. But like I said, having said that, ride quality's been perfectly fine in my short little test drive here today. So I personally am not having any issues. As far as steering feel goes, it's pretty good in the sport driving mode. I don't mind it. Not as heavy of a steering feel as like an AMG, but it's pretty darn good, I will say that. So that's on point. Then as far as cabin noise goes, this is probably the perfect test. We're going 50 miles per hour right now. I'll let you guys be the judge to my road mic. I personally think it's quite a serene cabin, quite honestly, but did want to mention there is a Pinnacle trim that goes for $4,150. That actually gives you an acoustic laminated front windshield and acoustic laminated front side glass as well. So if you wanted the very most serene cabin, go with that Pinnacle trim. Then touching our rear visibility, because of the shape of the C300, you're 100% not going to have any issues with that. Also though, coming standard is rain sensing windshield wipers. So whenever this thing detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's going to automatically turn on the windshield wipers for you. So that's going to assist with forward visibility. So definitely like that as well. And also, again, with that Pinnacle trim, if you wanted to go that route, that's going to give you a head-up display, projecting your speed limit, and safety features up onto your windshield. Again, better helping you keep your eyes on the road. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, you guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300, finished in polar white, in case you were curious of the exact exterior color name that we have with this here today. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where the C300 is made, taking a look at the VIN. First character is the letter W, indicating that the C300 is built and assembled in Germany, as it should be. That's pretty cool. But like I said at the beginning of the video, there is a new color for the 2025 C300 that is called Alpine Gray, in case you wanted the latest and greatest. I believe that one, however, goes for around $1,700 if you did want that. But anyway, starting up front, vertical slats will come standard when it comes to that front grille. However, if you go with the AMG line package, you do get a diamond block front grille, which is one of those signature looks for Mercedes-Benz. To the sides, LED headlights with LED daytime running lights do come standard. You get the automatic feature with that. You also get automatic high beams. So if you have your high beams on at night, since it's a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up to high beams for you there. So that's pretty cool. I will also say, if you go with the AMG line package, you're going to get a more aggressive front end, really more aggressive everything on the car as far as the looks go. So wanted to mention that. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the front end of this one. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, so now since we are around to the side of the C300, when it comes to the window surrounds, they are going to differ a little bit. So you got chrome window surrounds coming standard like you're looking at. However, gloss black window surrounds if you go with that AMG line package. Same deal when it comes to the side mirrors, body colored side mirrors coming standard, gloss black side mirrors coming with the AMG line. Of course, side mirrors are going to be power adjustable, they're heated, you get integrated turn signals then as well. Then taking a look down at the wheel setup, lots of different options here. 18-inch 5-spoke alloys do come standard. That's what you guys are looking at, of course. However, if you go with the AMG line, you will get 18-inch AMG line specific alloys, more aggressive look really there. And then there's plenty of 18-inch and 19-inch wheel designs to really customize this thing and make it your own if you wanted to. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile. So now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, one of the first things I always like to mention with just about all Mercedes-Benz is all the way to the top, there is no shark fin antenna. There's no antenna whatsoever. It's such a clean look. I love that look. And now other brands are starting to do it too, but I really think Mercedes-Benz pioneered that. But nonetheless, LED taillights do come standard. Of course, you get LED license plate lighting back there as well. If you wanted a rear spoiler, it is available in either body colored or gloss black. That goes for $350 just as a standalone option if you wanted to go that route. Then just below it all, you will find dual exhaust outlets. However, they are tucked away underneath, whereas Mercedes-Benz kind of has this look like they're integrated into the rear bumper. They're actually not. Those are fake. They are underneath. So anyways, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next here. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So now since we are around to the back of the C300, when it comes to opening that trunk, it is actually a power trunk, which is pretty cool. There is a button on the key fob. There's also a button on the trunk itself, of course, as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 11.6 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there is a 40-20-40 split, meaning the rear seats do fold down for quite a bit of extra space then if you needed it. But you might as well think this is an SUV in the cargo area because it's got everything. So there's actually some buttons back there to fold down the rear seats that make it super easy. LED cargo lighting, you have chrome plated tie down anchors, you actually have grocery bag hooks on both sides in the back corners. That's an SUV feature as well. And then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you have in-floor storage. Again, another SUV feature that you never ever find in sedans. So that's nuts back there. But then making our way up to the rear legroom, that comes in at 36 inches even. For reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the rear legroom there. Rear center armrest with cup holders does come standard. Now this is a little bit tricky, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Rear center armrest, when you push in the top, it's just going to give you like this cell phone holder. But if you push it in just halfway and then let it go again, that's how you're going to get your cup holder. So it's kind of hidden in there, kind of 007 style, but that's how you get them. Rear ventilation, of course, does come standard, and you got a couple little trays back there for little added storage as well. Tons of coat hangers in the back. But then make your way up to the front seats. Power adjustable front seats with memory settings do come standard, and that's for up to 3 different drivers and 3 different passengers. That's something you don't always find for luxury sedans, so I wanted to mention that. Heated front seats coming standard, MB-Tex upholstery standard as well. Leather seating, if you wanted that goes for $1,620. They have a few different color options there. Ventilated front seats, they go for $450 if you're interested. And overall, as far as seat comfort goes, it was plenty fine. All the seat adjustments, by the way, are on the doors in typical Mercedes fashion, and the power lumbar is actually going to be on the seat itself, in case you were curious. But then making our way to the steering wheel, it is tilt and telescoping. It is an MB-Tex steering wheel, and if you wanted a heated steering wheel, that goes for $250 then. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys this heavy duty key here. You got your Mercedes logo on the top. That is going to be your lock button. Just below that, unlock, and of course the button to pop the rear trunk there. If you're wondering if there's a remote start, there is, but that is done through the Mercedes Me mobile app. But ultimately it is all keyless entry with a push button start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located kind of just to the left of that center infotainment screen there. And so once started up, when it comes to the gauges, Mercedes-Benz always crushes it with their gauges, and this is no exception. It is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. If you press the home button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have the ability to adjust between a bunch of different loadouts like Sport, Classic, and display navigation up there. They always do their gauges so well, so I think it looks dang good. I would leave it in Sport or Classic. I think Classic looks fine, but of course it tells you how many miles you have left until you hit empty, outside temperature, and digital speedometer front and center. So definitely well done with the gauges. But now let's go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. Let me start by saying power sunroof does come standard. I like that. If you wanted a panorama roof going all the way into the back, that goes for $1,000. That's an option. Universal garage door opener does come standard as well. That's for up to 3 different garage doors found in the bottom portion of this frameless rear view mirror here. I love that as well. Dual zone climate control does come standard. You get LED interior lighting, of course. 64 colors though of ambient lighting. I loved that, and you're probably not going to be able to see it how I'm filming right now in the sunlight, but I'll put that little clip that I got with my phone on the screen somewhere, so hopefully you guys can check that out there. And then the exclusive trim is going to add enhanced ambient lighting and illuminated door sills along with a bunch of other stuff, but I wanted to mention that now because that goes for $2,250, and there is a couple interior upgrades there, so I wanted to mention it. But just below the infotainment screen, you got a couple cup holders. Wireless phone charger is hidden up under there as well. Then within the center armrest, it's an okay amount of storage. You got a little LED lighting in there, USB charging port as well. I love the matte texturized wood trim. It looks like just above the passenger side glove box. I love this two-tone color theme that we have with us here today with this like magma orange and the black exterior. Also, we have a Burmester sound system with some very high quality speaker covers as well, so I'm excited to test that out here in a little bit. The ambient lighting though, that's what really gets me. Mercedes-Benz does ambient lighting better than everybody else out there, so huge fan of that. But now let's go ahead and check out that infotainment screen I keep mentioning. What you are looking at is an 11.9-inch color touchscreen display. You get Bluetooth and audio streaming, of course, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. With the exclusive trim, you also get a factory navigation system. You could check out your climate control settings up there, your ambient lighting settings if you wanted to, and of course your radio information. So when it comes to the sound systems, there's two of them. Standard sound system is actually just going to be a 5-speaker sound system. However, with the exclusive trim, you do get a 15-speaker Burmester sound system that comes with 710 watts, and that is the one that we have with us here today. So that makes me excited because you guys know what we have to do next. Let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. All right, couple of things there. Plenty of clarity. First, let me start by mentioning that bass is pretty good as well. However, that was with the volume turned all the way up and my ears were perfectly fine. So it's either I'm going hard of hearing or the sound system is not quite as loud as I expected it to be. So definitely would expect a louder sound system than that for it being a Burmester sound system. But having said that, it is clear. It's just, I don't know, I expected a little more loudness. But anyways, last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen is when you do put the C300 in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. Extremely high definition as well. And you know what I just noticed? There's a bunch of like Easter eggs and spring decor on this thing because Easter is in 2 days. So that is nuts, and it's Good Friday. So that is quite interesting how the infotainment system is automatically updated there. You can see on the camera views, has a bunch of Easter eggs there. So really cool. But as always, that is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, I wanted to mention the C300 is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. So that pretty much says it all right there. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. Get a driver's knee airbag up front. You have that new standard center airbag as well. In the back, you got latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, attention assist, active brake assist, emergency call service, blind spot assist with exit warning, and Parktronic with active parking assist. But there is also an optional safety package. It's called the driver assistance package that goes for $1,950. That gives you adaptive cruise control, active blind spot assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane change assist, lane keep assist, traffic sign recognition, and a bunch more. So overall, let's just get to it. When it comes to my final thoughts here of the C300, excellent interior quality, especially the ambient lighting. I love the ambient lighting in any Mercedes-Benz. Also, when it comes to the exterior, brilliant styling. It really has a timeless design. Mercedes-Benz always does a wonderful job with their styling, and that's definitely the case with the C-Class. Pretty darn good driving dynamics as well. Like I said, with the paddle shifters, they're extremely quick. Plenty of acceleration. There wasn't any delay when you initially hit the gas, which is surprising with the turbocharged 4-cylinder. So driving dynamics are plenty fine as well. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow Mercedes-Benz of Hagerstown on social media somewhere on the screen there. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews and all of our fun YouTube shorts we put on our channel then as well. We do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and we will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.